In this video, let's take a deeper look at the range function, which we've used a couple of times now in this lesson. So previously we demonstrated how to do sequence-controlled iteration for a specific number of iterations by using the range function with a single argument value. So for example, we counted from 0 through 9 by using range with the argument of 10. Now it turns out there's actually 3 different versions of the range function. When you call range with just a single argument, it always gives you back a sequence of integers from 0 up to but not including that value. There's a 2-argument version of range which allows you to specify the starting point in the sequence. So for example, let's say we want to display numbers in the range from 5 up to but not including 10. So in this case, when we go and print the numbers, and we'll separate these just by a space here. When we print the numbers, you can see we get the starting point of 5, which was the first argument, and then each consecutive integer up to but not including the second value, which is 10. So if you know the starting number in the sequence and you know the ending value in the sequence, you can go starting value, comma, ending value plus 1, and then get the appropriate range of values. Now there's also a 3-argument version so that you don't have to necessarily produce consecutive values. So let me recall the previous statement here, and instead of going from 5 through 10, let's say we wanted to go from 0 up to but not including 10, and we want to go counting by 2s. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then of course the next value would be 10, but it's up to but not including that value. So to see that in action, we can go ahead and execute, and indeed we get the even integers from 0 through 8 up to but not including 10 in this particular case. So we could have actually said 10 or 9 here, and we would have gotten the exact same results in that case. Now the interesting thing about this last version of the range function that we just showed you is that it can also be used to count backwards. So let's recall that previous statement, and in this case, rather than counting from 0 up to 10, increasing by 2 each time, let's go from 10 down to 0, and we'll decrease by 2 each time. And remember, the second argument here, it's not including that value. So we're going to go 10 down by 2 to 8, down by 2 to 6, and we'll keep going until we reach the value before 0 in the sequence. And as you can see here, it counts from 10 down to 2, which is not including 0. So again, you can count up, which is the default. You can count up in sequence one at a time, which is the default. You can count up with a step, as it's called, which allows you to do non-consecutive numbers, and you can count backwards by using a negative step value.